The start of the film is set in the near future, where significant human advancements have been made. Eon is a biotechnology business that provides medical processes that enable time transfer from their own bodies to those of others, as long as their DNA matches. In this manner, people in need of cash can sell the years of their lives, hastily aging them. However, the purchasers receive their youth, return and gain immortality. Usually, only the impoverished and destitute agree. Despite the fact that Eon encourages volunteers to make both a decision and a donation, this has emerged as the main route for immigration to make a life, as there are numerous asylum seekers in this upcoming period. The company's top executives are then presented to us. Max, the manager, approaches the prospective donors and individually convinces them to sell the age ranges. He persuaded a teen from a migrant family today to sell after 15 years to enhance circumstances. Max discusses with the teen how he emphasized selling 5 years to pay for college, and how the funds could aid in the families beginning a company, as their prospects of establishing legal residency are small. At first the teen declines because 15 years is quite prolonged, but with cunning Max's persuasiveness and a mind-blowing reward, he accepts the offer of 7 million euros. The following scene shows Max traveling to the city when he comes across a bunch of people demonstrating in opposition to Eon's technology because of inequality in society. Max puts on a raincoat and moves ahead gently to serve as a shield from flying objects. There is a significant program within to recognize the best employees for the business and to discuss ideas for the future. Then, the creator of Eon, Sophie Thyssen, shows up on stage and starts handing out the prizes. Max is also recognized as the top agent and raises the most money from donors for the business. In the meantime, Sophie declares that they have chosen 15 scientists, and, provided each had 15 years left to live, they could continue their research for societal benefit. Later, the action takes place in a facility, as the scientists get ready for the procedure. Unluckily, a man who joins the scene dressed as an employee opens fire on a number of them. He then departs, leaving a graffiti mark on the wall. Later, we learn that the attacker is a member of the Atom Group, an anti-Eon group that used terrorism to prevent the corporation from focusing on the poor. They think they are preserving society. After that, Sophie watches a warning video that Lilith, the leader of Atoms, sent along with her personal guards Kaya and Novak. If they don't halt their efforts quickly, she threatens greater turmoil. Max, on the other hand, enjoys his award with Elena, his girlfriend. The two are now renting an apartment, but eventually want to buy it. Elena is reassured by Max that they will have enough money to purchase the apartment after he receives a promotion at his place of employment. The following day, the couple pays a visit to Elena's parents, whom she introduces to Max. The parents are immediately taken with him and grant him their approval. When the couple arrives at their apartment complex later that evening, they are horrified to discover it in a burning state. Everything they owned, including their money, was destroyed. The next day, they go to the insurance provider to make a refund claim. They are told by an agent that it won't be possible because the couple is too responsible for the tragedy. Before leaving the flat, they foolishly neglected to extinguish a candle. Max is shocked to learn that Elena used her life as collateral for a bank loan without notifying him, as the couple looks for ways to pay back the loan. When he tries to donate his years as a substitute, he is turned down because there are no suitable recipients. Max is perplexed by this because he has donated before, but is informed that his recipient recently passed away, and he is unable to donate his years for Elena. Moving on, the authorities detain Elena to prevent her from fleeing the country. As soon as Max and Elena leave the insurance firm, Max promises to find a different way to pay the bank out of desperation. When he tells Sophie about his predicament, she offers to help. She quickly, however, begins to ignore his calls, indicating that she is not going to assist. With no other options remaining, the bank will now shorten Elena's life expectancy by 40 years, making her an elderly woman. Max visits the clinic to see Elena before the treatment because he is frustrated and concerned. To his surprise, he is rejected and told by the personnel that he must wait until the treatment is finished. Max rushes into the other rooms in an attempt to get Elena after losing his cool, but Kaya and her squad stop him. Elena prepares for the treatment in the meantime. She loses it after hearing a lawyer read the deal. Despite her resistance, the physicians inject her, putting her to sleep. Her years are transferred to a different individual whose identity is concealed in a different room. Elena is taken home by Max after the procedure. She has clearly transformed and now appears much older. Max's desire to have children with her is likewise dashed, and as their relationship deteriorates, Elena pulls away from him. He tries to reassure her, but she just looks away and doesn't say anything. Max is called into work one day and presented with a promotion and pay raise, which he now views as being worthless. He tries to talk to Sophie out of anger, but Kaya blocks him. Additionally, ignoring him, Sophie drives away in her automobile. Max is shocked to see that she appears a lot younger as she walks out. Elena is reassured by Max that he still loves her, and will do whatever it takes to give her back her 40 years of life when he is at home. She sees it as a pity nonetheless, and requests privacy. Later, Elena develops bleeding and abdominal pain, which prompts her to go to the hospital. While Max is by her side, he learns that she was pregnant prior to the procedure. The infant is now dead, though, due to the restrictions of her older body. Elena, who is grieving in misery and is sick of their strange lifestyle, decides to move home with her parents. She looks older than her mother, which surprises her parents. They underscore Max's contribution to the development of the system by blaming him for everything. The latter responds by promising to try his best to undo the process before leaving. Max sits alone and despondent in a park, watching the passers-by. He also spots a young girl peddling narcotics and smoking cigarettes at the same time. He is certain that the girl underwent the age-reducing treatment and changed into a young girl in order to conduct the illicit activity. Since children are not permitted to have the surgery at Eon, Max approaches the girl and demands information about its source. She introduces him to a Lithuanian underworld organization that offers cheap age transplant surgery. Max calls the underground gang right away using a burner phone, and receives instructions to find bogus passports in a sketchy area. Years before departing for Lithuania, he finds out that he needs to locate the person who currently holds Elena's. After that, Max makes a plan to abduct Sophie while hiding out at a hotel. She may have been the one who stole his girlfriend's years, in his opinion. Over the course of the subsequent days, he monitors Sophie and follows her everywhere she goes until he spots her alone and unattended in a graveyard. He approaches her with his face hidden, pretending to be a member of Adam's squad. Sophie screams and attempts to run away, but Max catches up with her and tasers her. Then, to make the kidnapping appear to be the act of the Adam group, he paints an A on a neighboring grave. Later, Max picks Elena up from her job and begs her to believe in him. They then proceed to the abandoned structure, where he has Sophie restrained. A conflict arises when Elena expresses doubt about the circumstances, but Max persuades her that this is their chance to start over and start a family. After that, they manage to get to the harbor and board a ship without incident to travel to Lithuania. As they look into the situation at the cemetery, Kaya and Novak use security camera footage to identify the abductor. They soon discover that Max has been making purchases using fictitious accounts, after realizing that it is being done by someone from their company. They are also looking for Max after seeing his presence recorded on a surveillance camera at a harbor. Kaya and Novak plan a fresh operation to catch Max, as he departs on a ship with Elena and Sophie. This operation will involve the police. Max looks after Sophie at the waterfront by keeping an eye on her, and giving her food and liquids. She is hidden inside a box and is passing for freight. The couple observes a content family in the evening and fantasizes about having their own kids in the future. Unexpectedly, a youngster mentions some odd lights along the sea. After doing some research, Max and Elena discover that Ion has contacted the Lithuanian police, who are currently waiting for them. Max makes a quick decision to take advantage of a helpless family. Max uses his revolver to force the family's father to drive the family's van, while assuming the identity of a delivery driver, when the authorities inspect the vehicles leaving the ship. Until the police give Max permission to leave, Max directs the driver using a Bluetooth earphone. Elena becomes upset that Max put innocent people's lives in danger. Despite the fact that they were able to escape, they nevertheless take the family's van and drive off. A few hours later, they pull over for Sophie in the middle of the road, and she discloses that she is actually Marie, Sophie's daughter. Max looks online and questions her claim. He learns that Sophie only had one kid, and she passed away a long time ago. Marie responds by explaining that her mother kept a low profile on purpose to avoid media attention. She merely desired for her child to lead a regular life. Max, though, is still dubious, and Elena also starts to have misgivings. They then locate a deserted motel where they may spend the night. They are reassured by Marie that she is not Sophie, since she disagrees with her mother's immoral work. Max, who is in a desperate state, claims that even if she is telling the truth, Elena's DNA should match hers. He wants to carry out the plan as a result. Elena exits the room because she finds this concept abhorrent. Later, as Marie is taking a shower, Elena observes that Marie is scar-free. She has never undergone the operation. Thus, this indicates when Elena tells Max about it, he reassures her that the scars miraculously disappear once the skin is young. In the meantime, Novak tells Kaya where the couple is, and they get ready to go there. The armed Atom group, led by Lilith, finds Elena and Max before they have a chance to act. Then Lilith affirms that Marie is, in fact, Sophie's child. The trio is taken to an abandoned building by the Atom group in the following scene, where Lilith exposes Sophie's strategy. She reveals that Sophie had planned to use Elena as a donor, but Max and Elena fell in love and got married, preventing Sophie from doing so. She also planned the fire that destroyed their apartment, and had Max's possible mate killed, so that he wouldn't donate his ears. Max accuses Lilith of killing Marie out of wrath, but in response, Lilith offers Elena a gun with one bullet, giving her the option to shoot Marie or herself. Elena drops the rifle and sobs out of exhaustion. Right at that moment, Max's burner phone receives a 6-hour locational alert for an illegal clinic. The couple must aid Lilith in killing Sophie in order to keep the appointment. After some time, Max emerges while Adam is pretending not to be with Kaya and her squad. As they circle the building, only Sophie will be permitted inside. He warns, and Elena will shoot Marie to death if anyone disobeys him. At this point, a revived Sophie advances and accepts the conditions. Kaya wonders how Max knew Sophie would be there, as she's ready to enter, and understands it's a trap. The Atom squad begins shooting at Sophie's team from inside the structure, and a shootout breaks out between the two teams. On the spot, many people are killed, including Novak and Lilith. Max seeks refuge at the hotel in the midst of the mayhem while escorting Elena and Marie to the garage. Marie shows that she has a gun and tries to shoot Elena while trying to start the car, but thankfully there are no bullets in it. Elena is extremely affected by this act of betrayal. Because she recently saved the victim's life, she strikes Marie in the head in retaliation, knocking her out cold, and the group takes off in the car. Max later explains that he is reluctant to hurt Marie in order to prevent her from becoming like Lilith. Elena, however, has had enough and pulls Max away from the vehicle, while yelling threats to hurt herself. Marie is subsequently taken to the illicit clinic where the surgery is unwillingly performed on her. Later, a truck driver finds Marie and brings her back to the city. Her young mother, Sophie, who survived the gunfight because she was wearing a bulletproof vest, is eventually reunited with her. Marie's mother is the only one who can offer her years as she ages quickly in the days days to come. However, Sophie becomes self-centered and declines to help her own daughter, saying she will soon find assistance. At the beach, Max runs into Elena in the final scene. She is joined by a new husband and appears young and expectant. Max embraces his new life as a rebel with the Atom Group, committed to putting an end to Sophie's immoral actions and preventing the innocents from losing their lives.